I know a lot of people struggle with people with insecurities, especially in relationships. They wonder why. They give people so many reasons to trust them, but nothing just works, And you're wondering, what should I do to prove myself? Well, sometimes you're not the problem. Sometimes it has a lot to do with them, those who are feeling insecure. My name is Mimi K, and this is a piece of me. So I just want to talk about my insecurity. So usually I'm a writer. I like to write a lot. Not that I have a great handwriting, but I like to write. I don't even know why. So I have a laptop in front of me, I have a phone in front of me, and I still want to write. Because maybe I like to watch my ugly handwritings. But I think that it helps me remember exactly where we came from. Because when I started my education, I didn't know about laptops and phones. Well, back to the conversation. So that's why I have this book has a lot of things in it that I'm sure you don't want to know. So if you want my diary, find me. About my insecurities. I think this started when I was about 8 years old. Yeah. And this is a piece of me. Okay, so we're going to delve a little bit into my life. So, a bigger part of my childhood, I had to, I think, prove myself. Not that I think, but I had to prove myself in every situation. I had to prove that I was strong. I had to prove that I deserved to be in the room. And people don't know what being bullied can do to your confidence, but that happened to me. I think that we didn't also appreciate the conversation bullying, because in our time when you go to school and it's like, your shoe is big. Why do you have such a big? Because I had big lips, and I remember I was every given opportunity, people would disrespect me or insult me with my lips, and that thing went a very, very long way to close me up. So I had to figure out how I will show up every time, and I barely did, So I remember my family called me trouble. They called me trouble because I will not talk, but I just wasn't the child they were looking for. I wasn't super intelligent. I wasn't the one getting the A's, and so I had to figure out how to make myself happy or to feel perfect. So my insecurities are deep rooted into my childhood. Now, fast forward to becoming a lady. When I started dating, I remember in my classroom we had pretty girls, very, very nice girls. And then there was me with the puffy eyes, because I don't know what condition it was that I was battling with, but I always had very puffy eyes. And if I don't sleep well, it gets worse. And I remember my dad used to give me DWMS to sort that thing out. So I will take those, but still, it never did work. It never worked. So I would show up to places and I would want to prove a point. So I'll ask questions. I remember one time they called my dad in school and they asked him that, am I a special kid? Because I don't ask questions in class. I'm the child that don't talk. What's the problem with me? But there was actually no problem with me. I just wasn't that girl. I wasn't the sharp brain in the classroom. And that is okay. So if your parents out there and your children are not giving you the A's, they're fine. They're just different. And maybe, just maybe, when they get to a certain level in life, they might find a different path that has nothing to do with the classroom. So I think that I did the growing up by myself with my parents around doing what they could, because again, they didn't understand. I think at 17, I battled anxiety and depression, and I trusted some wrong people that landed me into some really deep situations, which we'll talk about on this platform, because this platform is what I am trying to do here is to let people understand that sometimes what people deal with today has nothing to do with character or but it's deep rooted into serious stuff. So for a very long time, I've had to prove myself, even in relationships. Like it's not that I'm insecure because you're the bad guy, but I just haven't attained that position of I am good enough yet. Yes. I haven't yet. Personally, I haven't. I think that there are days that when I get into a room with the person I'm dating and I see other girls, I just want to go home because I feel like they have seen a better person than I am. Yes. And this is no joke. When I find out that my partner is talking to somebody, it is not about, oh, why are you cheating on me? It's more like, oh, but you know you're not nice. yeah. I that's also another part of it. And then there's a part where I even wonder if people are loving me out of pity or it's real love. So I'm not able to do the math. So I exit the situation. I've walked out of relationships that didn't have any red flags. I was the red flag because I was super, super insecure. I was insecure about the things they did. I was insecure about the what ifs. So what if I'm not that perfect girl? How do I deal with that? I don't even know. I guess we just survive by the day. But I think that most importantly, I have come to accept that I had issues in my growing up, and so I needed to pay attention to those things that I dealt with, appreciate that I went through them, and then start working on them. So if I was rejected a lot as a child, it didn't mean that I wasn't good enough. And one of the things that I told my last partner was that I fear rejection. So anything that he would do to make me feel rejected, he should just exit. He should delete it from his mind. Because once I see those signs, I run. I actually do. I know there's a lady out here that does that too. I know there's a lady that has felt like, oh, I'm not the most prettiest girl, and so maybe he's just pitying me. Or maybe not. Really. Some guys are really, really genuine and great. But you're the problem. Now, how to solve it is to acknowledge that you have that issue and then begin to take baby steps to work it out. Because you know the story of Esther, right? When Mordecai told her that, listen, this man is going to kill us. He is planning on killing us. And we have put you in the palace and you have favor before the king. If you like, go and tell the king that this and this is what's going to happen to your people. Or if you like, just sit down. Whatever you do, our God will come through for us. She chose to understand her background, where she came from, and she appreciated that she is from where the people are right now, and she needed to help. So she took all the risk. So the baby steps are, she prayed. She gathered her girls. She prayed. She fasted before even appearing before the king. So baby steps. And first of it is to appreciate or acknowledge that you are actually dealing with something, or you actually have problems, and then start working on it. It takes a very, very long time. I am sitting in a place where sometimes I see it creeping in back into my life, and sometimes I'm like, yo, shut up, I'm better than this, you know. But it will keep popping up. Once you've dealt with that in your childhood, or you've dealt with that at some point in your life, it will keep coming up, but baby steps. We can have more conversations outside this video. What do? You can get in touch with me on my Instagram. It's Mimi K Lebanese, or Mimi K _original on Instagram. Let's just get talking, because all we're trying to do is to help each other. And remember that I have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to. It's Mimi K.